up, Animals? Back at it again. Episode 13, Season 2. I'm one of your co-hosts, Daniel Perez.
And I'm Messi Morales, and we're your unqualified heroes.
Today, special episode, as I say every episode, because we have another guest. We love guests. There's nothing better than guests. So we're not lonely, and you don't have to only hear our two annoying voices. So with that, we got the funniest, the baddest, the hottest, the sexiest. I'm kidding. I'm just talking about my wife. But we got Eliu Reyes.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's awesome to be here, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Season 2.
Yeah, welcome
Season
back.
2. This is one of our OG guests back when we were on Zoom.
Oh my
Season
God.
1.
Oh, what's that?
We had no idea what we were doing. We were talking about Doctor Strange. This was back in May of last year.
I don't think it was Doctor Strange. We were talking
It
about
was
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange.
It was Spider-Man.
No, it was
No Way
Spider-Man.
Home.
You're
Guys,
right.
it was
Spider-Man No Way
both
Home.
of them.
It was before.
Was it not both of them? I remember
that's true.
bringing. I think it was Spider-Man had came out, and then we were talking near the end about what we thought.
I think it was both.
Would be about because I remember giving up guesses or predictions that were way off, way off.
It probably was both. I think you're wrong twice. But
Yeah.
so yeah, tell the world who you are, Eliu.
So I'm Eliu Daniel. I've been friends with Messi and Danny for a long time. I love Marvel. I just love superheroes in general. I've been trying to bug them so I can get a spot again. Now that they obviously have improved, they went from Zoom to poor quality. You guys know if you've seen their stuff to this awesome setup they got going on. So I'm excited to be here for the small parts for when they blow up. So. Just a little bit of
Yeah,
Back when
you will be
our
remembered.
OG listeners. That's right.
You'll be remembered whenever we make it and walk in the red carpet. Going to
Oh yeah, no,
commercial.
for sure. I'm gonna be oh, I know them, guys, I know them. They're my friends,
Yeah, the security guards are gonna nah, yeah, back of the line, bud.
It's gonna be lit.
It's okay. We'll let you in. But we're talking about a movie that comes out next week. This will be coming out in exactly 1 week and 1 day from the time this episode releases, and it's one of the hottest movies of the year, which is Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse.
Part 1.
Part
God, it's
1.
gonna be so freaking good.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait. But before we get into this, I just want to say one thing. Because last episode, I believe, we had congratulated Messi on his engagement. Well, today is a special day for our other side of the co-host, and that's me. It is my 1-year wedding anniversary,
What?
and I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show the community something really cool because I think it ties into this podcast, and that is that my wife turned us into a comic book. She got me
What?
it's like our story, but in comic book format, and all the pictures are in comic booky. So that was super cool. She knows I'm a comic book nerd, and turned me into a real life comic book. So I'm actually the next Miles Morales, and spoiler, I am in the post credit scene of Across the Spider-Verse.
You heard it here first.
You
You heard it here first. I am actually a variant.
I wasn't okay. Well, that's weird. I wasn't here for last episode, but I would like to also congratulate Messi on the proposal. It was awesome. And Danny, it's crazy. It's already been a year. I didn't even realize going back to how long it's been. It's crazy. Because as you know, I was at your wedding, so it's just time flies so freaking fast. It's insane.
It's true. These were both in my wedding. So
Wait,
that
I
was
got
super
something.
cool.
Give me a sec. I'll be back real quick. I got something from that wedding day.
Okay, that's weird. Oh, okay. So Danny,
Well-
if you're a variant, right? Which one's your original? Is the beard Danny the original, and this weird naked mole rat Danny? Aw, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna now have to do the podcast in the episode in those glasses the entire time.
I'll do it. I'll do it with these.
Can you even see?
I can see. I got so much light in here. I can see everything. I still got these glasses. And yes, Eliu, to answer your question, yes, the variant of Danny is the cool version with a beard.
Yes.
This lamo with no beard is what we have now.
Yeah, it's
It be what it be. But if you don't know what the heck Messi is wearing, go ahead, go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and you can find out what Messi is wearing. If you're only listening on audio.
Nostalgia. I'll bring him
Oh yeah,
from a year ago.
What a time to be alive. And you didn't know what I even showed the video of my comic book. So yeah, go on YouTube, check it out. But Spiderverse, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about my movie because I was in the post-credit scene. Not really, but it'd be cool if I was. And yeah, we're talking about theories because we don't know what's going to happen. But we got predictions of what's going to happen, so we'll see.
I am going to quote the prediction of IGN. It's gonna end with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I also agree with that statement. Yeah, well, okay, I want to point out something. All right, I was just looking this up. I don't know if we're gonna jump right into it. You know, it's been forever since you guys wanted me here.
Wait, before you, I'm gonna stop you right there. As we said earlier, it's a part one of a part two movies, right? And every movie that's a part one of a part two always ends with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a joke that IGN.
Okay. Anyways,
put on their
so I want to
socials.
say,
Suck my nuts.
I was
It was
I was
funny.
like, do you just have the worst theory of all time? But I didn't know you were joking.
IGN put that up, and people were making fun of IGN.
okay, thanks,
saying it's gonna
Messi,
end with a cliffhanger.
Morales. Okay, so Danny,
Suck my
Danny. So basically, I want to say how mad I am. So I looked it up because I didn't realize how long ago it was. It was December 14th, 2018, when Spiderverse. First we saw Miles Morales.
Yeah,
and everything.
2018.
It's been a long freaking time, bro. So like I'm looking into this and I'm looking to like what's going on in the movies, and it's obviously part 2 or part 1 of part 2 or whatever. And I mean, no offense, Messi. Yeah, I don't get the joke, but obviously it's gonna on a cliffhanger. But why do you guys think it took so long to make another Spider-Verse movie? Knowing, because obviously this is by Sony or whatever. Knowing that like Spider-Man, I would say is one of the most trending like movies or like just genuine brand out there, especially since everything's tying into multiverses and all that. Why do you guys think it took so long?
I think that's one of the reasons why it took so long, because of everything that's happening with all the multiverse stuff that's going on. I think me personally, because Morbius was quote unquote part of it now, because of the post-credit scene of Morbius, we see Michael Keaton coming back as reprising his role as the Vulture on that movie. So now we know the Sony verse is quote unquote canon because of what's going on with the multiverse. So quote unquote Spider-Man Miles Morales, it's also canon to everything that's going on with the MCU. So I think that's why they took forever, because I don't think they could just throw the movie.
No, that's not the case. It can't be.
It had to make
Dude,
sense.
Marvel right now is running at like a factory, dude. I don't even think that they are coming out with movies, shows.
I think that's one of the reasons, because right now, the only movie that's coming out from Marvel is the Marvels, and that's coming out, by July? Something like that?
I am going to have to disagree with everything you just said.
Thank you, Danny.
Okay,
it was lame. It was a stupid. It was a stupid response because Marvel has proven otherwise.
Do you think? What do you think is the reason?
Okay. Let's go back to the 1960s and look at history.
Oh,
I'm kidding. We're not going that far. I wasn't born. Sequels always take at least 2 years. Spider-Verse 1 came out in 2018. It could not have possibly come out in 2020 because of COVID. It couldn't have come out. It could have possibly came out in 2021, but it got delayed. Why? Probably also COVID. 2. Now you got writers striking. 3.
Yeah.
Animation Animation takes a long time. They said they took it took, I don't know, 3 years I think
Well,
it was to make this
that's
movie
due to their style
because of
of
the animation.
though. Their style of animation.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. This specific type of animation takes a long ass time. So if you think of the COVID delays and all that, you have to push that timeline. Plus, it already takes about 2 years for a sequel to begin or like to come out. It makes sense.
Yeah,
that
no,
can
I
end.
wouldn't dispute it. I wanted a regular 2 years, because I'm not gonna lie, the movie was amazing. I mean, at the time the movie came out, you have to understand it was actually competing against its own movie, which was Spider-Man: Homecoming. I constantly heard people comparing the two, even though they're two different movies, two different Spider-Mans, like two different universes, whatever. At the time it wasn't even confirmed canon, so like everybody kept saying, "Oh, this movie's better than Homecoming," and all that. Like everyone kept saying that and all that. Movie was too good. You're probably right with all the delays and everything on it. But also that movie also had a cliffhanger. So I think them keeping the tradition of having some kind of cliffhanger is, it's, it has to be,
I mean, it also came out in the same year as Endgame.
But yeah, but
Wow,
months
that's
apart
true.
though. Months apart.
Same year though.
Yeah.
I think that movie was better than Endgame.
What?
What?
Are you drunk right now? Take off the glasses, dude. They're freaking shrinking your brain right now. Endgame. Listen.
I think the glasses are making it more
Clear. Okay.
First
no more
off,
jokes.
Spider-Verse was a great movie. Spider-Verse was a great movie. It's not as good as like half of the Spider-Man movies. So let's just put that
Yeah,
out there.
I don't know why you're even.
I said it once
comparing-
before.
I don't even know why you're comparing. Endgame was a completely.
Yeah, how dare you?
bunch
Unbelievable.
of haters. A bunch of haters. Trust me, this movie was better than Endgame.
Whatever. Okay, let's talk theories. Let's go into it. Let's talk theories. Okay, what right off the bat, and I don't know how we're gonna go into this, but there's obviously in the trailer you see the 2099 Spider-Man, right? That's him, the leader, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that
Yeah.
you don't have what it takes to be Spider-Man. You don't have, obviously all this stuff. Like you can't be one of us and all this. You haven't been like, through enough or whatever and all that jazz, right? Okay, big whoop. Obviously, in this Spider-Man, this version of Miles Morales, he didn't lose his dad. There's a lot of different versions of who he loses. Clearly, in the Spider-Man game, he lost his dad and a bunch of different things. But did he not lose his uncle? Like, so did he not suffer, like, in the worst way? Because isn't all the Spider-Mans talking about their Uncle Ben that they lost that made them Spider-Man? This dude literally lost his uncle, right? Like, and his uncle was, yes, he was a villain, but his uncle was, like, his biggest role model. Like, in every way. You know what I mean? They were doing the jumps together in the beginning of the movie. So why is that Spider-Man, like, I don't even get it. Why is he even saying that he hasn't suffered enough to be a Spider-Man? And I don't, obviously the thing.
Because he's black.
Huh?
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm
He's
kidding.
literally a pig. That's canceled. Who's cancel culture's number?
Is there a cancel button on our
Oh my god.
list of buttons?
Oh my god. Rewind. Replay.
We do
Let's-
have buttons though that we might be using it throughout the episode.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll find out.
I'm kidding. I'm just saying
Hopefully you're kidding. But my
There-
answer.
there could be racist Spider-Mans out there.
Oh, there has to be. There has to be. I mean,
Okay,
dude.
This is not.
Let's-
This is not.
I just want to say,
Let
listen.
me
Like
answer the
Captain
question. We're
America
not-
was from the World
We're
War
not
II.
doing it.
Okay.
We're not doing it. We're not.
Okay.
We're not gonna get canceled. We're not.
Look. Eliu asked a genuine question. I gave a genuine response.
I can name at least 3 Avengers
I'm
that
kidding.
should be racist.
It wasn't genuine.
Okay. Do that on another day.
Or
I'm not
Captain
recording.
America. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Okay, to your answer. So the theory is, it's not just because of the loss. It's because that spider. I don't know if you remember the first time we saw the spider that bit Miles Morales, it was glitching, just like Peter B. Parker and Gwen Stacy and all the other variants of the Spider-Mans they were all glitchy because they were not part of that universe. I think that's it. I think that's the problem of why he's going after Miles Morales, because that spider that bit him was not supposed to be of that
Okay,
universe.
but that's what. Okay. Listen. First off, that's
a
bull-
very good
It
theory.
isn't though. It is bullcrap. That's something that you've been
What are
saying.
you talking
I'm gonna
about?
tell you why. Cause first thing first, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. And obviously, okay, he couldn't because that's a theory. Fine. But he,
Obviously, he
It's
didn't
a
say that.
trailer.
no,
You
I
didn't
know,
watch
but
the
he
whole
specifically.
movie.
What
Yeah,
I'm saying is, he targeted the fact that he hasn't suffered. Okay. Plus the idea that he should have never been it because that's not how that works. Or whatever. The whole concept of that defeats half of the freaking like the pig one where he got bit by a spider. Like no Spider-Man is meant to be Spider-Man. The whole concept of them getting bitten is an accident in the
No,
first
but
place.
it's the specific spider that he got bitten from.
Well,
Maybe
the
that
spider
spider was
that-
from a
But
different
That's the thing.
universe.
Spider-Man turning into Spider-Man in every variant is an accident. The object of him becoming one, like in every way, that's the accident. That's how he became a hero. None of it happened on purpose. Like in other words, none of them mutated a spider, put it on their wrist. Every single and the accidents
Okay.
have been different. One of them isn't even a real
I got
Spider-Man.
you.
It's just a robot. So how does she
I
count?
got you.
Like
Listen to
they're
this.
like, yeah, you don't count
Listen,
because you got
listen.
bit by a different spider. Mind you, this Chinese
Okay.
chick is freaking a robot Spider-Man.
Listen, stop ranting. That's my thing. Listen to this. Yes, you can be right. Any Spider-Man can be bitten by accident, whatever. Most of them are Peter B. Parker or just Peter Parker in general. In this specific Miles Morales, yes, he got bit by accident by a spider that was not supposed to be on this universe. Yes. That's probably why he's being stopped there on that part. Because, again, the spider is not from there, whatever. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Can you stop ranting now? Can you
Well,
understand that?
this is what I think. This is what I think. Okay, and maybe I'm wrong, but here's what I think.
You're wrong.
Okay, I think the reason why he is not being claimed as Spider-Man because for one, I don't think they're taking the Panther. I think that that's a writer's mistake. I don't think they're counting that as a despair at all. Like I do not think that they think his uncle dying is enough suffering when in general all their uncles died, right? So that's total bullcrap. The reason why I think they're not accepting him is because his universe had a Spider-Man. So I think they're taking memberships from one Spider-Man each person. Like him being the other Spider-Man, his own
One
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man per universe.
Or at least they're taking it in the club, right? Like I think like for example, the UN, right? The United Nations, like they're taking one strong leader from each country. They're not taking two leaders from a country. You get what I'm saying? So I think that his ticket to enrollment of the Spider-Man club was already revoked because their Spider-Man died. So I think that there is a prejudice there, maybe not, for him being black, Danny, but more so for him not being the OG Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And that's because
I mean, he's not even the OG Spider-Man. 2099 is not the OG Spider-Man. That Spider-Man is from the future. Peter Parker already happened on that universe.
that's
So
my point.
Are you saying that they can't be another Spider-Man?
I'm saying in his eyes, they can't be.
Yeah.
I think that the way he wants to run it, the thing is,
Because he's like the leader of the Spider-Man.
yeah, and the thing is, before you go on and say, well, what about Gwen Stacy? Like the same thing with Captain America and what's his wife? I forgot what's his girl's name. Peggy, right? Like,
Peggy.
yeah. So in Gwen Stacy's like her version, the reason why she was accepted rather than Miles was because she was just the Spider-Man of that universe. I think that, like I said, I think his Spider-Man, like, what's the universe name again? So we could like make it more simple. Let's say Miles Morales' Let's just say Miles Morales' universe is like 404. I think since that Spider-Man of 404 died, I don't think they're claiming Miles as a Spider-Man. I think what they're doing is because you can't take every.
I don't think that's the reason.
I mean, and it could be wrong, but
It makes sense.
because I
makes
feel like not
sense.
every Spider-based character, like any person with spider powers is nominated as another Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So I think he's just not accepting him as a Spider-Man. I don't think it has to do with the. I don't know. I don't think it does. Because I mean, to say that is to also be mad at all the other Spider-Mans with character development. You know what I mean? Like the Fast Spider-Man we got used to. I mean, according to trailers, he's doing real well now. Didn't he get back with Mary Jane or something? He has like a kid or something. Like, they kind of showed him as like a
Peter
dad.
Parker, yeah.
Right. If they're like, well, you were never meant to go back to Miles's universe, so now all your character development is bad, so you're out of the club. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think they're accepting all that as.
No, I don't. I think your whole point is wrong. I don't think they're stopping him because he's just another Spider-Man in the universe. Because that happens on almost everything. There's always a character that has a sidekick, and the sidekick becomes the character. Flash. He has Kid Flash. Kid Flash becomes Flash.
I mean that's
Spider-Man. He has Miles Morales because
that's DC.
Spider-Man.
Listen,
Batman has Robin.
no, you're taking
Robin
these.
has
Listen,
Batman becomes
DC's
Batman.
antidote.
No,
Name it, dude. Start naming them from
not
Marvel.
DC
Start naming
stuff.
them from Marvel. Captain America, who's his sidekick? And don't say Bucky behind Bucky. Don't say it.
Falcon because Captain America. It literally happened with live action. And that's
Falcon was
also
his
happened
own
in comic
independent.
books.
I don't even know. No, listen. Spider-Man being Iron Man's.
becomes Captain
No.
America.
If anything, in the comics, Spider-Man was Captain America's freaking sidekick. Like what they did was they turned. Don't confuse.
But I think Spider-Man's his own thing.
That's my point.
So it's always his own thing by
Marvel
himself.
doesn't follow that antidote, bro. He does not follow the antidote. And if that was the case, if Marvel followed that antidote, then why is there not another Miles? Like, why are there not a whole capital of Miles Morales?
Because there's no aftermath after Miles Morales. Because Miles Morales was created in the early 2000s. Spider-Man was created in the 1990s. We weren't even born with that.
So who was dude? You're proving my point, though. So what I'm saying is Miles Morales. In other words, in no other variant, there's another sidekick. So I think the idea of having two Spider people in one universe, it just blows the guy's mind. He doesn't make it work. He doesn't think it works.
I'm going to have to agree with Eliu.
So you think the whole point of the movie is because he's another Spider-Man?
I don't think that's the whole point. I think that's a point.
I don't think that's the point at all. I don't think that's going to bring up whatsoever. I think the point is he's being stopped because the spider that bit him was not supposed to bit him.
The thing is,
the spider was not
but
meant to be
the first movie already hinted at that, though, bro. Like you don't even recognize
exactly.
But it hinted at it as
so we didn't see the aftermath.
But it was a foreshadowing.
We didn't see the aftermath about it.
Nah.
Exactly. What is a foreshadowing? It's the second movie. So it's a foreshadowing that was on the first movie.
Well, that's my point. But that's my point.
That is not your point.
In the ending
you
of
keep
the
saying
movie,
that's your point, and you keep adding other stuff.
In the ending of the movie, you saw what 2099 Spider-Man looking for other Spider-Mans. Who's to say that he didn't go to that universe, saw the grave of this Peter Parker, and said, "Yep, this Spider-Man universe don't have one," left. And then Gwen Stacy's like, "Well, no, actually, there's another one there." Well, what do you mean? There can't be another one. That one died. Any other one? It's like, no, there is. And she pulls Miles Morales, introduces him. He's like, yeah, you don't make the cut. Well, what do you mean? Because your Spider-Man's dead. You're just a wannabe. Like, I don't think he... Because remember, he wasn't in the movie, so he doesn't... Everything about Miles Morales is proving himself. Like, in the video games, everything is proving himself, right? So, I think that...
But he's doing good, though. He's still saving the city. He's
hold up. I'm going to say something completely different. I like Eli's theory, but I think it's something different. I think we have to remember something. The director has already came out and said Spot is the main villain. So yes, while 2099 Spider-Man is chasing him and mad at him for whatever reason that he's mad at him for, 2099 is not the main villain. It's Spot. I think Spot kills Miles' dad. Miles, kind of like how they did in No Way Home, gets like these anger issues. He wants to kill Spot, and then the other Spider-Man are like, nah, that's not the way to go. So then they're chasing him to try and stop him from killing Spot.
I don't know. It doesn't look like that one in the trailer.
Yeah, no offense.
It doesn't look like they're trying to stop him.
I don't think that's it at all.
They already said. They already said Spot is the main villain for this movie and the next movie.
Spot is definitely okay. This is what I think is gonna happen, and maybe I'm wrong. First off, Danny, I think you're wrong about the whole. I don't think his father's gonna die at all. There's no way that they're gonna tease.
His father's gonna die. His father's so dead.
There's no way they tease. Listen, as soon as he said, every Spider-Man has to suffer, and you haven't suffered. And then the next clip is his father falling. That is so cliche if he dies. I think the whole point of it is to break out of the taboo. So the whole point of the movie...
It's Sony! It's literally cliche!
Nah, dude, but they're going to break out...
Sony doesn't know how to do things.
If he died, they wouldn't put him falling in the trailer. I'm sorry. They wouldn't. If he was going to die, they would have made that comment. Him saying that and then him having to catch it is because they're like... We're here. You hear the words, oh, you have to suffer, and then the next scene is the father falling. They want us to think the father's going to die. Okay, but here's the thing. I think you're on par. I think, Spot is the main villain. Here's what I think is going to happen, okay? I think that it's gonna be one of those things that we've all seen, but it's also amazing where the 299 doesn't accept Spider-Man. He's chasing him, whatever. I think he kicks him out of the club, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, you're just not one of us," right? I think then Spot comes over and defeats all the Spider-Mans and makes them brainwashed, or something happens where all the Spider-Mans are defenseless, and because they didn't accept them in the club, Miles was one of the only ones who could not be affected by whatever's going on. So then Miles is gonna whoop that Spot ass, and then at the end, you're gonna see 2099 look at him and say, "You're one of us, kid. You're one of us," or something like that. And that is what I think is gonna happen. I think Miles is not supposed to be affected.
I'm gonna say, okay, this kind of goes into my second theory. I'm gonna say at the end of the movie they lose to Spot, and it's gonna be like an Infinity War with Thanos.
Yeah, because
this is a part one, part two. I think they lose to Spot.
I forgot this part one. I mean, I think Spot loses, but in this movie, you're right. Spot might. Yeah. You're right. In this,
Spot's gonna win. I think.
I think 2099 Spider-Man is gonna be the main villain of part one, in the sense that Spot is gonna be the background villain working on the thing, and that's where the theory of Eliu comes in, that he does everything on that part, and then part two is where everything happens, that he's the actual main villain.
I do want to specify though, Spot unintentionally saves Miles by not accepting him. I really feel like there's a strong point to that. I really feel like, him not wanting Spider-Man, the thing is going to be what makes him save. Like that, I'm going to stay to that. I don't know if it's a brainwash, a freezing thing, or they get trapped in a verse. I don't know what it is exactly, but Spot not letting him join is what makes him have an advantage. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die on that hill, because it makes the sense. It works. Okay. The formula is great. You get what I'm saying? Because everyone's gonna think in their head, why is this rookie Spider-Man the only one that has a leverage? Why is he? All the other Spider-Mans are better than him. All the other Spider-Mans are all this stuff. What makes him stick out? And I think what makes him stick out is him not being a Spider-Man. Like, what I think is they're not going to accept him. Kind of like, okay, Iron Man. Oh, my God, perfect example. You know how they kept saying you're the next Iron Man? And at the end of, what movie was this? I think it was,
Far From Home?
Yes. Okay, at the end of Far From Home, what did he do? He proved that you're right, I'm not Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that. I think that's what works. I think they Spot does something to all the Spider-Man, like the Peter Parkers and Gwen Stacy, something like that. And then, like, you're right, I'm not. They might even do one of those cliches where how Spider-Man rejected the freaking Avengers. He might be like, okay, kid, you are one of us. Miles gonna be like, nah, I'm not. And then, like, watch out, danger. Don't be a stranger. He's gonna walk out like that. And I think that's gonna be. Either way.
Honestly, I could kind of see
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that.
What's up, Dave?
And whatever. And then he does, like, a backflip, looks at his phone while he's falling into the ground or something. I don't know. But I think the whole point of it, because here's the thing. In the first movie, he was trying to be like Spider-Man, right? He was trying to be like Spider-Man. And I think in this movie, at the end of the movie, he realized, I'm not going to be just like him. I'm going to be my own thing. But I think in this movie, it's going to really, show his character. Like, it's really going to point him out, like, hey, you're not Spider-Man. Stop trying to be Spider-Man. You are Miles Morales. You know what I mean? I think they're really going to just, really expand on that point.
Let's be a little more specific on what you just said. He is Spider-Man, but yet again, he's not Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Well, I don't.
Why is it's not you saying, because Spider-Man is just a title. Anybody can be Spider-Man. It's just a title.
Well,
because you're saying, like, you're not Spider-Man. He is Spider-Man, but he's Miles Morales. Like, I think you should be more specific on the naming on the part.
Yeah, fair enough.
To make it understand.
Fair. Well, I don't know. I would dispute that though. I would say that.
Just say Peter Parker. Just say Peter Parker.
I would.
He's not Peter Parker.
I don't think
Spider-Man.
he is Spider-Man now.
Is he Spider-Man?
I don't think he
is Spider-Man.
I don't. But why? Anybody that has spider powers is Spider-Man.
I don't think he is Spider-Man.
I mean, he said it on the end of the movie. He said, "I'm the only Spider-Man for like 6 days, whatever how many days he is Spider-Man." Remember, every time that they introduce a new Spider-Man, they go, "Oh, I'm the Spider-Man of this world. I've been the only Spider-Man for God knows how long."
Yeah.
Well, okay, but the thing is,
he says on the very end.
You're right. But that's what I'm saying. I think his perspective is going to change. I think he's not going to claim the title Spider-Man.
Yeah, because he like okay, let's fall to your theory that the reason of why they're stopping him is because he is not the original Spider-Man from that universe, and then he's gonna be like, okay, by the end of the movie, okay, I'm not that Spider-Man, but I'm this Spider-Man. Like I'm not the Spider-Man that
You okay?
we had.
Either way, it's an identity issue. So yes, fine. Because technically, if Gwen Stacy's considered Spider-Man. Whatever, fine, okay. But I'm just saying he's gonna prove that, huh?
Nothing.
I'm just gonna say. The thing is, what you saying like, oh, he's just not Peter Parker. There's like 5 main characters in the original Spider-Verse that aren't real Spider-Mans. In fact, I think only one of them was Peter. Because the Asian chick wasn't Peter Parker. That wasn't her name. Okay. The Gwen Stacy wasn't Peter Parker. So.
But they're all Parkers though.
No, they're
Most of them are Parkers.
in the new movie.
A lot of them are
Porky Parker.
not-
Exactly. Let's go on to
Was
the
it not
next
Por-
theory.
Was it not Porky Parker?
So,
It was something
Let's
like
go
that.
on to the next theory because I think that we're all
Porky
I
Pig.
think we're all right, but I want to go back to what Danny said because I really disagree with this. And if they do this, I will be done with Spider-Verse. If his father
You think-
dies,
what do you
if
think?
his father dies,
I think he's gonna die. I think he's gonna
His
die.
father's dead.
He dies in over everything. That
His
he
father's
eventually
gonna
dies.
die because I don't think the impact of his uncle emotionally weighed on the audience.
what do you mean?
like it-
Every other Spider-Man's uncle died. In fact, I would argue you're not a Spider-Man if you don't have a dead uncle.
I mean, you're right, but
There you go, that
Like,
that
oh,
contradicts
you
your-
want to be
your theory.
Spider-Man? Well, does your brother?
You
How many
can-
siblings? How many uncles do you have? Oh, that's one too many.
but Spider-Man's dad also died.
When he was a kid.
And mom.
Okay,
No,
They still
before
died.
memory. No, before memory. He didn't suffer. I mean, if you want to look,
they were still
Can-
dead. They were still
but if
dead.
you die, listen. If you have a family member that dies before you met
can't
them,
say that word.
if you have a family member that dies before you met them, I mean, I'm not saying it's meaningless
Oh my
because
God, I don't
the
like
impact, but you get what I'm saying. It doesn't affect you as much. Like it affects you in the fact that you didn't have a parent, but it didn't. Affect
You're right, which is why
He was
it's not
there when
shown
his-
for
okay,
the other Spider-Man.
he was there-
But his dad is alive
Let's
right
bring a
now,
parallel.
which is why
Let's
if his
bring-
dad dies now,
Let's bring parable.
it's gonna matter.
No, but
I agree with
listen,
Eliu.
listen.
I agree with Eliu on the part that he didn't suffer their parents, so that didn't really cause him to go with the Spider-Man stuff. Yes, it's a kid. He lost his parent. Whatever. Get over it.
Listen, real quick.
His
It's every,
uncle, Peter's uncle died because of his fault. Because he was mad, then he left the house, and then his uncle, being the fatherly uncle that he is, he went after him, and some shot him.
Well, I want to say that. Okay,
So that's
you're-
his fault.
Wait, you're bringing up to. Okay, here's the thing. This is what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. I'm so happy you said that, Messi, because we're about to destroy Danny. Hear me out. If every instant canon, if you go to comic books and everything, every instant where a person in Spider-Man's life dies after he's become Spider-Man and he's failed to save them, they've all quit being Spider-Man. Even if they return, right? Let's look at Amazing Spider-Man. You look at Amazing Spider-Man. After Gwen Stacy died because of him, he went on a Spider-Man hiatus. You look at freaking Tobey Maguire. After his girlfriend broke up with him and he almost lost his best friend that he thought he died. He quit. He went on another hiatus. He didn't even have powers because of that, right? So I think a person dying because of Spider-Man being Spider-Man, that makes him not want to be Spider-Man, right? Now let's do the parables for why he is Spider-Man. Number one, when Uncle Ben dies, Spider-Man feels bad because he neglected to use his powers. Number two, in all Spider-Mans, they've seen his uncle die. So let's bring that back to Miles Morales. One, Miles Morales died because he wasn't accepting the Spider-Man case. Like, he wasn't taking it seriously and using his powers.
He didn't die.
And two, huh?
He didn't die. You said.
Oh,
you
my
said
bad.
Miles Morales died.
Miles Morales didn't take his powers seriously, right? So his uncle died because of that. Number two, his uncle also died in front of him. Okay, so the parallels for the uncles dying are almost spot on. After Uncle Ben dies, Spider-Man puts on the suit, becomes a hero. After the pink, what's his name, the Prowler. After Miles Morales,
Prowler.
yeah, after Miles Morales' uncle died,
Prowler.
what did he do? He made his own suit. You see how the deaths parallel? I think that Miles Morales' uncle dying makes him so much Spider-Man that comment that 2000 said was stupid.
What does that have to do with contradicting me?
Well, because you're saying
Because you're saying their parents are meant because of like what's after with his powers and no, he had years to to get over it.
Exactly. I'm saying that he doesn't need
His parents
to
are
die.
still alive.
You're saying his parents need to die for him to be Spider-Man. No, apparently only his uncle has to die.
I'm not. No.
My uncle
no.
dies, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
be
saying
Spider-Man,
they need.
apparently.
I'm not saying they need to die for him to be Spider-Man. I'm saying his dad will die in order to further the story.
I think they're gonna want to break the taboo. I think they're gonna want to break the trend. I think they're gonna want to because they don't need him to die.
What happened?
No,
What
the thing is,
happened
they don't need him
when
to
his
die.
uncle died?
Listen, Batman wouldn't.
What happened when his uncle died?
Batman wouldn't be Batman if his parents didn't die. Like the deaths, when people write off deaths,
What happened when Prowler died?
he became Spider-Man.
What did he do?
OP. He became OP.
Yeah,
He was not OP.
He did. He spray painted his
talking
suit.
about?
Then everyone gave up on him. He came back.
became-
Oh, he spray painted his suit because my uncle died. I can spray paint a suit because whoever
no,
he
died.
beat up
Danny,
Fist.
Danny,
no,
Danny.
think about it.
By himself. Not even the Spider-Man of his down universe could be Fisk. He did it by himself. Miles Morales became too OP. Now, okay,
But he didn't.
this
He
is your
didn't
theory.
deal.
Listen,
he didn't
listen.
deal with an issue internally
Yes, he did.
when his
He
uncle
saw his
died.
uncle
When
die.
his
What
are you
dad.
talking
He
about?
saw his uncle die. He
Okay,
cried.
Before
Oh boy, he cried. He
Shut
wasn't
up,
like
bro.
mad,
Danny,
or he
Danny.
wasn't like he didn't quit
Danny.
being Spider-Man. He didn't quit being Spider-Man, and he didn't go on a complete rampage of like absolute madness.
Let me tell you something. He was not
That's gonna happen in
Spider-Man.
this movie.
He was not Spider-Man until the point his uncle died.
Exactly.
He was a wannabe Spider-Man. He wanted to prove his point to the whole movie, trying to be, okay, I need to step up and be the Spider-Man. Every time there was a mission, every time there was something, he was not using his powers 100%. He
wasn't trying.
cannot do anything on command, especially on that part. He was just trying to be a wannabe and trying to fit in. He became Spider-Man as soon as his uncle died, and he went to get quote-unquote revenge to stop Kingpin from stopping opening that the portal
he had
or whatever you want to
so
call
much turmoil that he you know what it is for you to have your
He
childhood
can-
hero that you have to
he-
carry him and
everything
bring him
on
to the
command.
police. That was destroyed him. He even told us Spider-Man that he quit. He didn't want to. He was so devastated that Gwen Stacy said, "I thought we knew you better," or some crap like that, and whatever like that. Like it wasn't until listen. Let's trace back. He wanted to be Spider-Man so bad that they're like, "You're not good enough," and they like said, "If you can get out of this," and they beat him up, and they said, "Yeah, you're still not good," or whatever. So he was pretty despair. He was sad when they went to Aunt May's house, and then all of a sudden, he saw his uncle died. He was like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not ready for this. I don't want to do this. Like, I'm done." They gave him a pep talk. He was like, "I don't want this. I don't want this." And then what happened? The inspiration of his uncle died. Said, "No, we're doing this." He put on his retro ones. He put on his spray paint in his suit, ripped it up, became Spider-Man. He even practiced on the walls, jumped on buildings, and he said, "I'm ready." And then he jumped and he saved 5 like freaking OG Spider-Mans. Like his uncle dying is what made him Spider-Man. Now parallel that to Peter Parker. His uncle dying made him Spider-Man. Before Ben dies, what was Spider-Man? A wrestler? Spider-Boy, Spider-Guy,
Yeah.
right? You get what I'm saying? Like you're not Spider-Man until your uncle dies. Now, that being said, he didn't need his father to die because, like Messi said, in the trailer, he's putting on his pants and he's like, "I've been Spider-Man for this long." And then that one guy sees him putting his zipper up, you know what I mean? Like, clearly, in other words, there's no more character development that needs to be made with his father dying. So, if they have him die, it's in vain. It's really for nothing. He doesn't need any motivation. He's been doing a great job saving it. I think they want to tease the idea of his parents dying, but clearly we're dealing with a different Spider-Man.
I think another reason of why they could kill him off is because of what we saw with Tom Holland's Spider-Man when Ant-Man died. We saw that rageful.
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
Yeah, but
Set my balls.
That's not really a point.
You just made the same exact point 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, but that's your whole premises. But that could not be the.
Why
only
do
reason.
we need to see? Why do we need to see you guys? Listen? There's first off, he's a hormonal teenager.
It's gonna happen.
He's a hormonal teenager, and I'll be honest,
Ellie, when it happens,
listen, he's a
I'm gonna
hormonal
make you
teenager.
suck my
He does
nuts.
not need his dad to die for him to have some kind of rage. Okay, I'm telling you.
It's gonna happen.
But why?
It's gonna happen.
Why?
His dad's
But
gonna
why?
die.
I don't think.
And
I
then he's
think
gonna go rage.
This
This
is
is
a
a different Miles
Remember,
Morales.
This is a part 1. It's a
It's
part 1
fine.
or a part 2. it's gonna happen anyways. If it doesn't happen, great. If it does, it's gonna be awesome because
Why?
they're just killing people off.
Listen, clearly this is the
we
thing is
love
I don't
people
think they
dying.
can. I don't think they are allowed to. I think that they do that because here's what they're doing.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because they work too hard not to kill him, and I'll tell you. They're clearly taking a different Miles Morales. This is not the Miles Morales from the comic books or the games. Why? Because Spider-Man is dead. They already killed Spider-Man, okay? They already killed his uncle, okay? And his dad's alive. So in other words, every other version, both Spider-Man and his uncle are still alive, and the only one that dies is his dad. They're doing something completely different with this character. If they bring, like, in other words, they're reinventing Miles Morales. If his dad dies, it isn't going back to the old ways. It's just, what are they doing? Then they're going to kill, like, what's the point of that? That's what I'm saying. Like, in other words, you can't have him lose his mentor, Peter Parker, and his uncle, and his, like, because that's not going to see a rage version of him. That's going to see a freaking emo Spider-Man. He's going to start, like, cutting himself, wanting to kill himself, hang himself with his webs. Like, I'm saying is, after a while, listen, look what happened with Thor. Thor lost so many people that it's becoming comical. At the end of the day, this is a movie. There's theatrics. There's rules of the art. There's entertainment and there's storytelling. If his father dies, then it ruins the movie. It doesn't make it better. It makes it better because you feel like you're more comfortable. Like, I know he dies. He has to die because that's what makes Miles Morales. They're going with a whole nother route in this way. Completely. Like, every other Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man in such a different way. This one becomes Spider-Man by a glitched out spider with Tourette's. Like, they're making something so different that why would they keep any version of it the same?
Look, when it happens, I'm going to make you suck my nuts. Anyways,
When it happens,
I
I'll
have
give you
another
$100. I'll give you $100. If it happens, I'll give you $100. Write this down. It's already recorded.
Is recorded.
I'm going to show that $100 bill on this
If it
podcast
happens, I will give you
in about a week
$100.
from
I
now.
will prove to you it didn't because I personally talked to Spider-Man 2099 and he knows the future and he said it now.
I just told you I was in the post-credit scene, so I know what happens.
Dude, shut up, bro. Whatever. You're picky.
What's your
Listen,
other
you know
thing?
what?
Okay,
You might
here's
have
my
been in the
other theory.
post-credit scene, but
And it has
Messi's been
to
in the
do-
whole movie because Messi's low-key Spider-Man Parker. Peter Parker. Low-key. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait.
Oh my gosh. That was funny. Peter Porker.
Oink, oink.
Okay. Here's my other theory. In either the very end or the post-credit scene, most likely the post-credit scene, we will see a live-action Spider-Man.
Oh, for sure. No,
Like
for sure.
brought
for
into
sure.
animation.
No, like a real live
No,
action.
like we're gonna like a live-action Spider-Man in the animation.
Yeah, that's what I just asked. Yeah, so we're gonna see animation.
world.
Wait, you know what? I would even argue that we.
No,
It wouldn't even be
Not
post-credits.
a live
I
action
think it'll be in the
Spider-Man
movie.
in animation form. A live action Spider-Man in the animation universe. But we're gonna see him live.
I don't think that's gonna like work like that because every time you travel to another universe, your body transforms to that.
Okay,
universe.
well we're gonna see a live action Spider-Man in animation.
Wait, is that true though? Are you sure? I don't think. No offense. I think
That's one of the theories
No,
that's gonna happen. That
theory's
Tommy
wrong.
or Andrew are coming back.
Listen, that theory's wrong just for the fact that
Why is it wrong?
No, I'm gonna tell you. No, not the theory. I'm saying what you just said is completely wrong. Because Peter Porker, when he came, he didn't become in that animation style. He was still cartoonish. Black Noir was literally black.
They were all
black. Look it up.
cartoonish.
No, Black Noir was literally black and gray, and the anime girl was still anime.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
I go back to my
yeah.
point.
So I think Danny's
But when
100%
Doctor
correct.
Strange,
I think Danny's
but
correct.
when Doctor Strange,
That's different.
was
That's
going-
dark. That's
as-
MCU. This is not MCU.
No. I don't
it
think
falls in the same
that isn't,
category.
dude.
When Doctor Strange was time going to universe, he was transforming to each universe.
Doctor Strange is
He
not
was-
in
Listen,
here.
listen,
he,
dude.
he went to the comic universe. For a blip second, he transformed to a comic book character.
Okay, can we agree?
Go watch the movie.
Can we
And
agree?
he transformed
Listen,
to everything.
could we agree-
So why is it different for this?
Because of the powers of how they went
I'm
there.
not- we're
I'm telling
not-
you.
we're
You want me to
not gonna
answer?
see-
It's because of how
we're
they got
not
there.
gonna see Andrew Garfield. We're not gonna see Andrew Garfield as a human.
I
form.
didn't
Not
say
Andrew
Andrew
Garfield.
listen,
Garfield. I just said a live
Listen,
action
the
Spider-Man.
animation-
All I said was live action.
Gentlemen, please listen. Messi. The animation is possible. People have been doing this since forever. If you look at the old freaking 90s cartoons of like Jessica Rabbit where there's a human. So it's possible. Wait, I know that's not what you're saying, but
It's
listen.
not gonna happen.
Listen. What I just said is a proven fact. The way that they did it. What you said is correct.
I know.
Listen, I think it's the point of entry. There's 3 things we have to take account for. Listen, hear me out. Okay, 3 things. Number 1, when Doctor Strange and whatever her name is did that, their powers turn them into the universe because they also turn into color. I'm not disputing you. However, clearly the way that these people are going through dimensions is different. So I think that it's the point of entry that kind of makes you keep your form depending, right? So in other words, if you go in through a different way, then yes, you might get all cartoony like that. But there's a point where they're not in nobody's universe. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's like in the middle of all the universes. And I think at that point is where we'll see. I don't think the only thing Danny I think is wrong is I don't think it'll be a post credit. I genuinely think we might see like no, all right, it might be a post credit, but I do think we're gonna see a live action.
I think it's gonna be a post credit because the third movie is called Beyond the Spiderverse, and I mean, come on,
we might see a live. Listen, we might see a live action.
Animation to live action.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
I
saying.
wanted to see
but
that.
but not for this movie. That's gonna happen in the third movie.
But
what
Danny,
I'm
you're
saying
right.
is for this movie, a live action Spider-Man
I think
is
you're
gonna
right.
come
I think Danny's
to this
right.
world.
I genuinely, and I think it's gonna be funny. I think he'll see Peter Parker. He's like, "What the heck? Why do you look like that? Why do you look like that?" Like, I think it's gonna be one of those. I think you're right, Danny.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be like one of those like,
wrong.
"Why do you look like that? Why do you look like that?" It's gonna be that type of
It is.
interaction.
And I think, but I'm not.
It's gonna be a.
But I
funny
get
one.
why Messi said what he
100%
said.
that's how the post-credit scene is gonna
But
be.
it's gonna look weird because the animation. Okay. So
Okay, man, it's gonna look weird. And
Yeah, Messi.
Okay,
and-
Danny, you're becoming super annoying with that. Suck my nuts, okay? It's gonna look weird. No one's gonna
Messi,
like
you
that.
look weird.
See,
I'm gonna
and-
like
Messi,
that.
your body looks like a
I'm gonna
cartoon.
like
hell
that.
up. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Listen to me. Seeing Andy
You're
Garfield
Porky
or
Parker. Be quiet.
seeing any live action character in live action to animation is gonna look weird. It's not gonna
No, it
look
doesn't.
good.
It happens all the time.
I don't care.
It happens all the time.
No, it happens. It happens when animation goes to us. It's weird when we go to them.
No, it's not. It's happened too. Dude, there's a whole movie about it. Oh my god, I
It
gotta look this
happens.
up. No.
Space Jams. Space Jams.
LeBron
so
James
bad.
was literally in Space Jam.
Yes. And
That's
it
what
didn't
I'm saying.
look
Space
bad.
Jam
No,
looks
but there's
horrible.
another movie about it that they did
It
really
didn't
good. It
look
was
that
like
bad.
Cartoon Town or Cartoon World. I'm gonna look it up because Messi. It did not look bad. It had like a bunch of. It was like an old.
It's gonna look weird.
It
It's
won't.
gonna look weird.
Then why? Then you're right. Okay, but then the thing is, because it's a post credit, why does it have to be? Why does it have to be in their universe? What if it's in? What if there's a glitch and all of a sudden Porky Parker or the funniest Spider-Man comes out in the real world? Then, if that's the case, why can't they do that?
Okay,
And then he's like, "Well, how did you come here?"
they can.
So they will.
They can.
Exactly.
I'm not denying the fact that he can come be in the movie. Any other 3 live action movies, Spider-Man can be in
I
the
don't think
movie.
it'll be
I'm not
Tom Holland or
denying that.
Toby. I'm
I'm
just
just
have to be
denying.
Andrew because Toby's done. He already said it. Tom Holland is focusing on his family.
Can I finish my point?
Yeah.
Can I finish my point?
Can I vision my point?
Thank you.
Did I
very
do it right,
much.
Danny?
I will literally stop the whole podcast right now, and both of y'all can suck my nuts. I got two nuts. One of y'all can suck at the same time. Listen, I'm not denying the fact that they can be in the movie. I will be pleased to see all 3 of them, or at least one of them in the movie. I'm just saying I don't want to see a live action form of them on the animation world. It's gonna look weird.
We're in
Because of the
2023.
fact of the type of animation. Shut the hell up. I don't care what age we are in. It's gonna be weird of the type of animation there is. The reason why it works with the Looney Tunes and stuff like that is because of the type of animation it is. It's gonna look weird. It's 2D dimensional for it to work. It's not that 3D form that Looney Tunes does. It's way different animation. That's why when animation works on Looney Tunes with Space Jams, Dr. Rabbit, whatever rabbit she is in, it looks good because it's a different type of animation. It's gonna look weird on this. Seeing a 3D form on a 2D world, it's gonna look so weird.
Can I say something?
Why can't they just transform him to animation or go to the Miles Morales, transform it to live action?
Well, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I think they are gonna be. I think we.
I take it back. You can't talk. I don't care. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I do think. I think we're gonna see. I think it's all the above. So one, I think Danny, you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, let's just let Messi not get angry. Fine, a cartoon version is gonna come into the real world, so the animation doesn't look bad. Okay, are you happy now, Messi? Okay, that being said, I do think we're gonna see cartoon Toby, Andrew, and Tom. I don't think they're gonna have voices.
All three?
I think we're gonna see all three cartoon versions of them. They're gonna be like in the background, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be Easter
that's
egg.
what I'm saying.
Okay, calm yourself, bro.
That's literally
But
what
why
I'm
is
saying.
it? Listen, why is
No,
it?
y'all can't
Why
suck
is
my
it
dick.
Messi?
That is
Why
literally
is
my
it
point.
Messi or Danny is right? Why can't it be Messi and Danny are right? Like, calm yourself. The other thing I wanted to say, though.
No, because he's
Okay,
saying
whatever.
he
There's no
wants a
such
live action
thing.
form
I
to
think-
go to animation.
All right, good. Listen, I think that there's gonna be also a time where we see all three different animations for Miles Morales. I think that when Gwen Stacy pulls him up, I think we're gonna like maybe see like kind of like a Doctor Strange thing where we might see like a cartoony version of Miles Morales, like a Disney version, a freaking, you know, like a 3D version. Like I think they'll add that on the film too, because I think that's beautiful
I think
artwork.
Spot is a variant of Miles Morales.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing that people are saying?
No, he's way off. He's
No,
making
no,
a
no,
theory
no.
up.
Hear me out. You gotta listen to the directors and the screenwriters are the people making this movie. You gotta listen to when they talk to the world, and the director has multiple times, or maybe it was a screenwriter, I don't know, multiple times they have said that Spot and Miles Morales are connected. They haven't said how, they haven't said in what way or why or whatever. They just said that those two are connected and that we will see how, why, whatever in this movie.
You said
I
that
think
we'll
the
see
reason
that
why
they're
they're connected
Spot's
is-
whole power is you putting your hand through him. Like, of course they're gonna be connected a whole bunch of times. Like, I don't see what you mean.
Shut up! No, that's not what he means. He means connected in a special way.
Look,
and it
I just
is.
looked it up. I'm looking at the art scene, and he looks fat. He does not look anything like Miles Morales. I think that, if anything, I think Spot might be a very...
He's a
my God.
deteriorating version.
I have a better
He is
theory.
a deteriorating version of Miles
No,
Morales.
he's way taller. He
He
looks
is
weird.
Miles Morales, but deteriorating.
I think Spot is his dad.
his dad is literally the cop.
Listen, hear me out.
Okay, can be a
Listen,
variant of
I
him.
think
That's the whole point.
that,
You said
But
that
it can't be a
enough times.
variant of
listen,
Miles.
I'll tell you why it can be and it won't be, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. So, or I'll tell you why I think I'm right. So the dad hates Miles. Remember, let's not retrace our steps. Right now, the dad saw Miles.
He doesn't
drop-
have Miles. He has Spider-Man.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
hate
okay, my
Miles.
bad.
He loves
My
Miles.
bad. He hates Spider-Man right now. He saw Spider-Man drop his brother off dead. He thinks his dad. He thinks that Spider-Man killed his brother. Why? Because of that. I think that there's a variant out there that also thinks the same thing. I think there's a variant because in every version, Miles Morales' dad hates Spider-Man. In every version, I can't think of a version where he doesn't. Well, you know, while he's saving villains once in a while, I'm out there saving villains every day. Like they're always competing for some reason for Miles' attention. I think that there's a variant of Miles Morales' dad that hates Spider-Man so much that because he killed his brother, that his son loves him so much. I think that he becomes Spot based off the art design, the body, and everything like that. I truly believe that. I think that is his dad. And I think that his motive is for getting revenge for his brother.
So does Spot kill his dad?
No, because that's killing
Does
himself.
he kill his own variant?
I don't think his dad's dying, bro. $100.
And
$100. I don't think. Well, you guys.
I don't-
you guys
I don't-
thinking that his dad
I
died
don't-
is so cliche that I'm questioning.
I don't dislike the theory that it's his dad.
But his dad doesn't die. Your only dispute for why it isn't is that his.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but your dispute.
I'm saying I'm talking about your theory that it's his dad. I'm just saying I don't dislike it. I think it's a semi-good theory.
Does Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales finally make love? Is my question.
I think directors have said, and it's a love story between them two.
No, but that's not my question.
Probably, I don't know. They're not gonna show it.
But what they,
But
They're not making love till the third movie.
I think they're gonna smash in the first and then
I'm
make
kidding.
love in the second.
oh my god,
They won't do
Most
it.
people complain about
too
traveling
many
miles
kids.
away to see your loved one, This chick goes through dimensions. She got it bad, bro. She down bad. She down bad. There's a reason. Listen, they say once you go black, you never go back. Okay, she is down bad. All right. There's a reason why she's not looking for other Peter Parkers. She's been done that. She's like, I had that, done that. You know what I mean? I need me some Miles Morales. You feel me? And I leave it at that. I truly believe that.
Okay, that's the end of our podcast. So, I think that's a good way to end it.
Wait,
Eliu,
what? It's over?
you have been, yes, it's over. This has been too much. I can't take it anymore.
Man, you didn't hear me now. I was going to tell you how they were going to do it. Because
such...
spider people make
Yeah, okay. And Unqualified Heroes, not kidding. Eliu, before we say our outro, you have now a platform to just sponsor yourself. Say where to find you on Instagram. If you have certain businesses or channels, what are they?
Ooh,
you can do whatever you want.
First off, I would like to say thank you guys for having me on this episode. It was a fun time. I'm sad it's over. I was just going to explore a whole new talk about the universe. But yes, guys, please follow me. I have a faith-based brand called livingtruth.co. So maybe Messi might edit my name right here somewhere, here, whatever. So it's livingtruth.co on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I also have a YouTube where I stream. I kind of edit funny videos, a lot of them Marvel based. So if you like their content, please, take a moment to look at my stuff. But I also stream video games, and different things. So, and that's going to be Eliu Reyes, or you can look up ED Reyes 813. But yeah, that's it, man. Thank you guys for having me.
This man has a lot of subscribers on YouTube, so he's up there. He's up there.
Trying to get monetized, guys. I need to get paid to play video games so I can quit my job.
Trying to get monetized.
And not have to come on this podcast.
We do appreciate you being a third-time returning guest.
Two times.
From the... I thought you were on the show twice.
Nope, you guys hate me. You guys hate me. I've only been on the show once.
Well, we appreciate you being a two-time guest because you have seen our beginnings, and now you're here. And we can yell at each other for an hour, which is great. And everyone can listen. So, thank you so much for being on our show. It was great, and it's always a good time. But you can find me... You can find me at Danny42 with 3 N's because 2 is taken on Instagram. Please follow me, but let me know who you are so I don't think you're a scammer or a weirdo. Or you can follow the guy next to me.
Yeah, you can follow me at Messi.17_ on Instagram. But if you don't want to follow us individually, you can always follow us on Unqualified Heroes on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Nope, psych. We're not little girls. Twitter, and obviously YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, where you can listen to our podcast and share, comment. And I think that's it. Peace out.